Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Pork and Bean Show, starring Pork Cunningham and the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Lane. Sit back, relax, and stay a while as we stretch your imagination to places unknown and explore the mysterious world of the Sasquatch people and much more.
They say I need some Rogaine to put in my hair. Work it out at the gym to fit my underwear. Oakley makes the shades to transform a tool. You'd hate for the kids to think that you lost your cool. I'ma do the things that I wanna do. I ain't got a thing to prove to you. I'll eat my candy with the pork and beans. Excuse my manners if I make a scene. I ain't gonna wear the clothes that you like. I'm fine and dandy with the meat inside. One look in the mirror and I'll take a peek. I don't give a hoot about what you think. Everyone likes to dance to a happy song with a catchy chorus and beat so they can sing along. Timberland knows the way to reach the top of the chart. Maybe if I work with him, I can perfect the art. I'ma do the things that I wanna do. I ain't got a thing to prove to you. I'll eat my candy with the pork and beans. Excuse my manners if I make a scene. I ain't gonna wear the clothes that you like. I'm fine and dandy with the meat inside. One look in the mirror and I'll take a peek. I don't give a hoot about what you think.
Self.
Yeah, we don't want to repeat ourselves. Okay. So maybe I'll get the show set up.
Rinse, wash, and repeat. That's how.
I guess we can start early. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm free. It's up to you.
Well, what time were you going to be? It was like it's 4 minutes. That's not early.
Well, it's a little early.
Good. People won't even be awake. They'll go ahead and fire it up. Marco Polo Polo. You know him, right? Marco Polo Polo.
I don't. I've been out of the loop for a while. We haven't made our trips out to Chihuahua, and then they moved it to, was it Kettle Falls? And I actually took a full-time jobs during the day, so it's like, well, that kind of takes up my time. But they always find a way to connect with me while I'm doing my healing sessions or, you know, things like that. So I know that they want us to come back out and come together again. Because that was a lot of fun. And I did love Chihuahua. That center was just amazing with the personal experiences that I had too.
Okay, hang on a second. I got to get a code because I got a new computer kind of thing going on. So.
Uh, did you go to the Chihuahua of Washington?
No,
I think it's a
I
psychic
was. I'm
Sasquatch.
kind of stuck by finances, and for something like that, for me, living in Miami, you're talking about maybe
Oh,
$1,500 to the rooms and car rentals and food and and air. It's just a lot. It's not like even a 2 day drive would have been doable, but
right.
4 day drive in an old truck. And then
Yeah,
4 days
it's
back,
sketchy.
and even the gas for so.
Yep.
And that's definitely a West Coast thing. Yeah.
It's not like they're not anywhere else, though. So it's just I've had a amazing experience. My first experience was on the Navajo reservation up in the mountains. And then we had some experiences, lots of amazing experiences up there. But when we went to Chihuahua, that was amazing, especially since that's when I first started really channeling, where I allowed myself to be able to have them speak through me. So it's it all kind of worked out really neat. And then, just feeling their presence and then seeing them was, I was in shock. They're
Wow.
much taller in Washington State than I had
How,
seen anywhere else. I was like,
how tall were your guys?
it looked like 15 feet. I mean, I'm short, so everything looks tall, but I was going by the height of the trees. And the one that I connected with, she was not, maybe there was about 2 or 3 feet above her, the rest of the trees, so those big pines.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
these were not the major, huge ones, but these were near the where they had the dorm rooms. So we went out, and that's when I had my
15,
first.
15 feet. That's like if you take a regular small house, like like in the suburbs or something, the kind of house that like that. There's the peak of the house. The peak of the house is about 15 or 16 feet, and the what do you call it? The bottom edge is like maybe 10 feet. So that's just huge when you think of it in terms of a house, right?
Right.
An 8 to 10 foot Sasquatch would his eyebrows would be up to the top of to the bottom of your eave of your roof.
Mhm.
That's just huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I was shocked because the one I saw on the Navajo reservation, that was maybe 8, 9 feet, I mean, but this one I was like, it's huge. It's like I'm in shock, and it was speaking to me telepathically, which shocked me too. I was like, "Are you guys hearing this?" They're like, "Hearing what?" I said, "Oh, maybe you're not hearing that." I'm like, "What do you mean you're not hearing it? Tell me what you're hearing." So I was explaining it, and the first thing that she was saying, like, don't stop talking, because she was listening. We were talking to our friends from Australia. And so we're talking about the differences. And like they said, well, which way is east? So I said, well, I said, I had to learn the hard way. I grew up on the islands in Hawaii. So it's either, towards the mountains, towards the oceans. So we're talking about, I said, well, the sun rises in the east. And then my friend Kaji goes, not in Australia. And then I saw the eyes. Well, I didn't know it was eyes at first. I just like, what is that? Looks like a motorcycle headlight at a distance. And then I said, is there a road back there? They're like, there's no road back there. I said, well, and then I looked again, and then I saw two of them, and they were pretty far apart. Then I started seeing the outline. And then I saw some other sets of eyes below. And I said, guys, we're not alone. And then she
Yeah.
continued to talk to me. And I was still in awe, going, wow, I can't believe she's talking to me. And people say, well, you talk to the spiritual ones all the time. I said, yeah, but this one's standing right in front of me. You know, she didn't come out of the shadows, but I could see her, and she was, and she was talking, and I was just honored. So for me, it was one of those just, wow. And then the guy from Australia, he goes, do you want to go in? I was like, oh, no, I want to hang out here. But he goes, no, into the forest. And my legs like just locked in place. And I said, I know they're loving and caring. I said, but I don't think I can go. Just that fear came in. At least I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you asked if I was in Chihuahua once. I met you there once.
Yeah, that's where we went. You were with Sunbow. And I think you guys came down when we saw her in the trees. You guys had seen something, another one on the way down. And then when you got there, then everybody saw her. And,
well, actually, I came with Randy Barnes.
But I meant you were walking with Sunbow at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because he's actually the one who validated my channeling, because his when he talked about who he connected with, and I was like, okay, I got his books, so I can read those, but I never got to read it. And then he talked about I forget how he started it, but my friend Garrett Duncan, he also brought in more, so I was like, okay. So I'm like, well, I can connect with his. And then I was just saying, okay, guys, you want to, whoever wants to come in, you guys want to hear? They're like, yeah. We were up in the amphitheater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're there, and then all of a sudden, Camus came in. And, I'm a trance channeler to where I'm not present when they're there. I just felt like this loving energy. And as he started, I just felt like he wanted to come in and speak. And I felt such loving energy. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I just let myself clear my mind. And then I don't remember what happened. But my friend recorded it, so I was able to hear it. And I remember after the conference was over, it was probably like Sunday, like 2:00 in the morning. We were hanging out with Sunbow and talking, and he's talking about the first time he met Camus. And so all of a sudden I heard, ask what happened when he was 8 or 9. I was like, okay. So I said, so Sunbow, what happened when you're 8 or 9? And he goes, that's when the angel touched my leg. He goes, was that Camus? I'm like, because this is what he told me. And then I had to ask my friend, was it in the book? Because I didn't read the book. So I'm just saying what happened. So he helped to validate. And he said he came in when I was doing my first channeling was a small group of us. He walked up into the amphitheater, and then he saw behind me, Camus was there. And he said the way I was speaking was the way Camus speaks. And so that really helped me to feel like, wow, this is amazing. I had no idea that something like that could happen, but it did. And ever since then, I've just been open. And there's one that's in my office. He comes and he's my guardian, and I was like, yeah, I can feel him. I mean, I actually met him. Our offices are in a Lutheran church where they used to have this, the Sunday school classes, and they opened a healing arts center. So you're like, okay, let me tell the pastor that she has a Sasquatch in her church. It's just like it's like, okay, but he's been there. And so he actually gave me a name. And I really connected with him. So he watches over my space while I'm, doing the work and things like that.
He gave you a name?
He gave me a name. Yeah.
Did you want to share it, or?
Yeah. So first, it actually came when I was working with Garrett, and I was just honored. His name is Naayashan. That's his name. And he told me that his wife's name was Hekshikta. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And then Garrett says, you have a name. Because I said, he kept repeating Tenexicla. And so I didn't know what that was. I don't know if he's speaking a different language. And Garrett said, that's your name. I said, I wonder what that means. So I was honored and everything, and I kind of forgot. And one day I was like running, doing stuff, trying to get things set up for, I think it was a channeling. And all of a sudden I hear this, Tenexicla, like a, grandfather scolding. I was like, oh, what was that? And he says, you have all that you need. I was like, okay. So that was the first time that he called me that name. And then after we were done, I said, okay, now I know you're here. What does that mean? What does, Tenexicla mean? He said, little wanderer.
Wow.
And I kind of laughed because I said, little wanderer, or is it because I always get lost? so it might be a nice way to say, she's a little wanderer. That's because I get lost all the time.
That's cute. Can I introduce the show, and then we'll start talking about. Hey everybody, my name is Port Cunningham. We're back full time now after moving my wife in, and the show should be weekly again, and we're happy to have that. And I'm here with my honorable co-host, the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Beans, and this is the Pork and Beans Show, and we're honored to have Gayle Fowler with us today. And I met you in I guess at Enumclaw. Is that where it is?
The Chihuahua?
Chihuahua, sorry.
In Washington, yep.
In Chihuahua. Yeah, I was honored to go there once. I was supposed to go the year afterwards. I had some trouble at the border, but but that's resolved, so maybe I'll go again. So how are you, Gayle? Nice to see you again.
Great. I'm doing great. It's nice here in Colorado. It's about balmy 26 degrees.
Well, 26. Yeah, I mean, I like the Fahrenheit too.
Yeah, this is
Canada. 26 in Celsius would be like a nice hot summer day.
Right.
But it's below freezing in Fahrenheit.
It's below freezing right now.
Yeah.
But I'm in the house, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Is it nice and sunny though?
Now it's a little overcast, but today it was sunny. So it's nice.
That's just a background you got there, right? That's not.
Yep. That's not the real place. I'm actually in my kitchen in my home. So
Yeah. I don't mind a crisp day if it's sunny. I actually kind of like it. But anyway, yeah. So how's life in Colorado? Good?
It's good. Been busy. I mean, even for me coming from Hawaii, people would think I don't like the cold. I love the cold. I love the season. I love fall, and all the changes. We had, rain or sunshine. I mean, you shouldn't complain about it, but that's what we had in Hawaii. And so first experience coming to Colorado, I had a blizzard experience. It was not bad because we melted away. So we're doing good.
Yeah, my wife just got back from 2 months in Hawaii, and she said that the weather's always the same every day.
Pretty much.
She was on the Big Island, I guess, which is actually erupting right now.
Right. I actually worked there too. I have family there as well. So,
You were born in Hawaii?
Born in Hawaii, yes, on Oahu. And then after I graduated from college, I started working at it was a Hyatt at that time. It was a big resort. But then I was working there for a couple of years. And then I decided if I want to get married, I have to move back to Oahu. So I did. And 30 years later.
When I was a young guy, my dad was stationed in Hawaii, and we were there for, I think, 2 years. That was in the 1950s. I think it was 53 or 54, 55, something like that.
Which branch was it in?
Somebody got their mic on or something?
Why? What's going on?
Echo.
Yeah.
With me?
Somebody has the show on Facebook.
It's not me.
Hmm.
I don't hear anything, to tell you the truth. Has somebody else got it on? Or?
No, I hear an echo. Oh, it's gone now, but I was an echo there.
I seen Gayle move her hand. She's not. Fess up. Was it you?
No, I'm trying to figure out if that was me, but it's not showing up. So
Are
I
we
don't
okay
know.
now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Hawaii. I was on in Hawaii, and it was one of the most beautiful places, in the world.
I probably would have stayed there if it was more, feasible, economically feasible to live there.
Yeah. Mike
Yeah.
Colantonio says I was the only one not echoing, but I didn't hear anybody echoing, tell you the truth. But
Huh.
are we good now? I think we're good.
But
Seems
it's
good.
funny that it came about when you're
Good.
talking about
It's good
Hawaii.
now.
I wonder if that means you need to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I mean, Gail, we all know that, the Sasquatch will go anywhere that they want to go.
Yes.
Especially if they're connected to you. But I've heard that they don't have Sasquatch in Hawaii, but I'm not sure about that. At
Yeah.
least, but my wife had 3 visitations when she was in Hawaii visiting her family because she's got a connection with them. So
Mhm.
3 profound ones actually. So it's pretty cool, knowing that they can go anywhere where the people they're connected to are.
I mean, they may have, we just didn't call them Sasquatch, maybe they were considered like Hawaiians that were hairy. We don't know the whole story. But there's a lot of mystical beings in Hawaii. So I'm not surprised. And a friend of mine who she was living in Hawaii, and she said she went back for a visit. She says she saw them. And I said, I wouldn't put it past them. We all want to go to Hawaii, so why not them?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But maybe they're just vacationing.
Exactly.
So were you always gifted? Did you always have these gifts all your life?
I'd
And,
say
and
I
what
was
would,
born this way. And my
and
mom
how would
always
you,
told me, oh, go ahead.
how would you describe what you do? And
Well, I mean, since I was little, I would sense energies. I could sense portals and vortex. I could sense spirits. But it wasn't so much, I would hear things, but I would say like, oh, it must have been somebody, like you always try to talk yourself out of it. My mom always calls me, you were always the strange one in a loving way, because I just would pick up on things. It's like I would pick up on spirits in a place, and then I don't know, it feels like there's these kids. I don't know why. And then next thing you know, I find out that yeah, there were kids, and there were graves underneath the house. So these were ancient graves, and then her kids were going underneath the house and disrupting the graves. So once they locked up that area so their kids couldn't go in, the spirits disappeared. And my mom said, how did you know? I said, I just knew. So, I've always had that. And I think it took a while when I came to Colorado and then met the right community that said, you're not crazy. We're the normal ones. I started to let it go. So it's okay. I'll let it flow and see what happens.
yeah, well, I think we are the normal ones, I guess, in the sense that I think people like us are like we're connected into source and whatever, and that's our true nature. So actually, it's the other people that have to get normal, or at least, and
Or
or
like
at least
admit to what you're seeing, right? You are seeing it. Don't think it's all made up or that you're crazy. You're sensing them, you feel them. You don't have to have the proof. You just know of their presence, and they'll be around you. It was just amazing. I would say the experiences that I had, I can't explain, And so I'm the type I like to learn more about it. So I said, I need to learn more about what I saw, what I connected with. But it's some things that people don't really talk about, it's just that I'm like, well, they're there. They're there. I can tell you. And so even my clients, they said, well, this happened. I said, uh-huh. I said, go leave them something. Go leave them a gift, and don't be surprised if you get something else in return.
Mm-hmm.
And it even happens in the city. And I was like, it's like, wow, how do they do it? They go through the portals. Okay, that makes sense.
Sure.
I don't know if they're even portals. I think it's something that I think there is portals. There's absolutely portals, but then there's something else. There's this sort of unity consciousness, all one thing
Mm,
where
No
they
space, no
can,
separation kind of thing.
yeah,
They
yeah,
just
and
visualize.
their energy will come to you and their consciousness will come to you. But yeah, in a
I,
portal,
I, I,
then their body will come to you too. But
true.
I got to put anything past those guys. I can do it.
We
I
just
just
say
think they put out
whatever.
the intent. They just put out the intention of where they want to be, and they show up. I mean,
Right.
they've been in my house a few times. They've left gifts at every
Mm,
place I've ever been to. They'll leave glyphs or something. So, they don't have really any barriers that way. They just they can travel. Travel is just a thought away, I guess,
right.
for them.
Well, I said we were in the church. Our office is in this church, so we have our Healing Arts Center wing. And one day, Garrett Duncan was in his office, and he looked down, and we started finding a lot of hair. Their hair coming out, and it was like, wow. I said, I'd like to have them in my office. Just kind of throwing it out there. I went back, vacuumed up everything so I could really see. And the next day didn't happen. So I was like, oh well, you know. I don't know. Then the following day, I walked in my office, and there was like a swirl of it's like the soft hair, the I call it the
Mhm.
baby hairs. It was a swirl of that. I'm going, who did that? Nobody comes into my office. It's just me. And it was just swirled in the carpet, and it was white, and it had some black in it. So I went to pick it up, and that had that buzzy feeling. I was like, oh my God. You ask, why are you surprised? I'm like, this is them. And so it's like, it doesn't matter where you are. Once you connect with them, and I say heart connection, they're with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
You're
So
also big on the star nations too. You got a real good balance from the people in the woods and then the people in the sky. You got both of that going on there. Which I think that's just a really good way of going because for a long time it was if you're into UFOs and the star people, then you weren't into Sasquatch because that's too weird. Or if you're into Sasquatch, then you weren't into the UFOs because that's too weird.
Yeah,
But
but
I think they're connected. There's no way they're not.
right.
and I think more people are realizing that too. Like for instance, our friend Mary Rodwell realizing that now that the message it's basically the same phenomenon, just presented in a different package, I guess, or you could say. But
I guess
yeah,
I don't really put them in like you're from here, you're from there. It's more like, hi. And
yeah.
where are
Well,
you
that's
from? And sometimes they're from the stars, sometimes they're from here and the past or whatever. It's like, as long as you're good, I'm fine with working with you.
I like that attitude. Yeah, and that's the way it should be because there really are, there's not you can't distinguish between them in many ways.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
Um, at least for energy wise, teaching wise, and stuff like that. So you wanted to channel today, but how long can you channel for? Is it?
I don't know. It's more like how much time they need to speak.
Do
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
We want to hear some of your stuff too, but no, I'm just asking you because we had a lady on recently. Barbara Jean Lindsay. She's been at a few of the Chihuahua gatherings.
I probably do. Probably if I saw her, I know who she is.
Yeah, you would know her. She's been there like 2 or 3 times, and she channeled them, but she had a full. I don't know how you do it. Do they actually? Do you ever do a full body channel? Do they come right inside of you, or how do you do it?
Well, the way I see it, I just say, kind of open myself up to see how they want to speak. So sometimes they speak through me, sometimes they speak to me, and share the messages. So it all depends on who wants to come in.
Okay.
And when it's something that it's like they don't want my interference, then that's when I do the trance channel, and I have no idea what I said.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
Barbara
interesting.
channeled the RE clan, which was kind of really nice. It was there's what three Before, it
channeled
was
my
horrible.
clan. She
Yeah.
channeled my clan. There was Re, his daughter Rajase, Little Bud, and a grandmother. We didn't get the name, but that was phenomenal. It was so personal. It was really touching to me, and I think anybody who heard it kind of enjoyed it. So,
So in those
well, I
times I
mean,
connect with them, I generally just open myself up and then I can share, so you could ask me questions and I can respond. But if I'm in a trance channel, you can do the same. Just don't ask me what I said afterwards because I won't remember.
probably a deeper connection though with the trance channel, right?
Yep.
And do you decide which one you want to do, or they decide?
They decide.
Whatever
Yep, they
happens.
decide, and I just open up, just let them speak because I
Okay.
know they're speaking from their heart and that it's not something that I need to be afraid of or anything of that nature. And
Okay.
so sometimes, because I've listened to it after the fact, sometimes they use my words, but most of the times they don't. They use some terminology. I said, I have no idea what that means, but
Yeah.
they would say it. So
I'll send you the Barbara Jean Lindsay one too. You'd probably enjoy that too. I'll send it to you, the one we did with her. I'm sure you would
Okay.
enjoy it.
Sounds great.
So did you want to get into some of your stories, or do you want to ask them if they want to get started, or why don't we leave it up to them? See what
Let's
they
see.
say.
Yeah.
So they told me you can share your stories, but then don't take too long. I'm like, okay, so I'm asking if you guys want to start. I can talk for days,
They want to talk. Did you happen to notice who that might have been who just gave you that?
So I felt like a female. She's not one of my guides. Felt like a female.
I
She
can feel her.
I call it like a kind of like a honey. Well, no, it's even lighter than honey. She's got a light color fur. Hair.
Yeah, I was gonna say as soon as you said that, I said, wait a minute. She corrected you, right?
Yes, she did. She did.
Yeah, I know she did.
Yep.
I can feel her.
So what I can do is I can tell you, I'll start off by kind of giving you a description of how she's showing me what she looks like. It's like she took a photograph. Okay. So it's interesting. She's probably gonna have me trance channel for her. But what I'm seeing is she's okay. I'm just gonna use the words that she's showing me. She's of childbearing years. She sister of leader. Maybe in the clan, she's like second in command of, that's my words, not hers. Okay. Father figure is no longer. He has passed. So brother and sister are helping to lead this, I'll call them tribe, the family, the extended family. And so where are you from? Oh, Canada. Oh, there we go again. I'm hearing the echo.
Fooey, I think that's a Zoom acting up.
They called me
I'm
out.
not hearing it. That's weird.
Well, so no, but it's also they do that too. They will take
Do
over.
you have it on the Facebook channel
I
or
don't
whatever?
think so. That's what I want to check.
Because I don't. It's funny. I don't hear anything. Do you hear it now?
That's Brian, you're deaf. That's why. Nobody ever told you you're deaf.
Well, I've got my hearing aids in, so I'm hearing pretty good right now.
Let me double check.
No, I think it's just a glitch. I don't think there's anything to worry about.
I don't have anything open. But then again, like I said, they'll come in specific times. Like first you were talking about Hawaii and if they were present there and then it happened. And then now I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, well that was important.
So, well, she's showing me. Okay, so I think she said it's Canada, but it's like the border. It's like a because for them, they don't have the same borders we do. It's like there's no such thing as borders for them. It's just territories where they go. But it is a wooded area of people do access that area, so they do see them. She's not showing me her children yet, so I'm not sure if she has children at this point. But they are, I think they're in the process of migrating to warmer climate at this time. I think this is somewhere near you, Brian. I think it's coming from your areas because she seems to be pointing towards your location. You may have seen her, but in passing. She has, it's not white and it's not yellow, but it's I call it like the honey color black bears. They're not brown. They're more like a yellow, whitish color. That's her color, she's saying. She's a healer. Okay, that's why I got it. She's a healer. So she's saying there are those who are joining, who want to understand how to work with the people and learning how to heal because there's so much pain and suffering that others are sometimes struggling and turning away from nature. So she's saying if our hearts are open enough, they will teach us.
Mm-hmm.
They will show the ways of their people. They have worked side by side with many of I'll call them the natives or the indigenous people. And they were the ones who learned from and taught. There were many who feared them to where they retreated, pulled back, moved away out of sight. Many others came, and the connection with the human was not daily visits. The humans do not live as long as my people. So we have learned how to work with different humans over time. But the strong connection, the bond, the feeling of family is not as, how do you say, not as common as days of old. There are many elders who did not walk this earth when our people worked together. It is time to reconnect. It is time to let fear go away and follow one's heart. We are here to work with you, to teach you the ways of the old, the ways you have forgotten. But there are many from my people who have what you call technology. They do not live here with us. They come as visitors. So my people, my family have lived here very long. And we do not always use the technology as those of the new, the ones who will be coming. But it's people like you who help others lose the fear. That is what we need to open the doors of our hearts and reconnect. I am willing to sit with you and teach, as you may teach me and my family. You have questions of me. What do you wish to know?
Are you talking about Gayle specifically? Are you talking about Gayle that you want to teach, or are you talking in general? Or
This one is not present. I will work with her later.
How many people are in your family?
We have 27. We have young ones. We have elders. My
Go.
my brother, my older brother, is leading the path to choose. But everything moving forward. We need to work together to succeed.
Do you know my clan, the clan of RE? Are you?
Marie, do not know a family named Ari. We know many. We see in passing on our you call trips. We see in passing. Ari name, Ari family, which is name of name of being, name of one of us, yes, or Ari name of her family, which is it.
RE is the name of the clan leader, and the clan of RE is the name of the clan, at least that I personally am being taught by. So that may not even be his name, but that is the name that I connect with him from or through. The name is not as important as the acknowledgement and the connection. So, but that is what I call my clan leader and my the head of the family that I'm connected to and is teaching me.
Are they family of 17? They Is he dark color, dark brown, dark brown?
No, he is white. He's light color.
I do not know this one. White is special. I would remember white one. I will look for this white one. Does this white one teach you medicines?
He's been teaching me about healing. He's been teaching me universal truths about connection, all one, no judgment, no fear, that kind of stuff. Universal truths, mostly in downloads and as an energy connection.
He is worthy of your love, dear one.
Absolutely. He's amazing. All you people are amazing. But he's special to me because he's my family.
Yes.
And I just got lit up.
The humans think they are not one with us, but you are. You are extension of family. You are family. So teachings, as we teach our young ones, we teach you in our ways, and you teach us in your ways. This is good.
I have a question: is how many humans can your whole family tribe connect to? Could you connect to many or few?
Special ones. Special ones know what is the word? No judgment. No
Fear.
all have fear, but fear that is too much, where one cannot see through heart, is problem. So we can have many who work with us, but if too many, it will be like ants. Too many must get rid of. No, move away from. That is right word. Move away from. But we do reconnect eventually. But we find when you humans group family very, very many, too loud. Do not listen. So we wait for quiet to teach. We have seen many loud ones. We hide. Too noisy. They speak, they do not listen. Do you wish to know how we appear to you when you visit our lands?
Yes, please.
It is funny. We watch so many different humans, different purpose with visit. We find many with camera and sound, hearing. We do not wish to appear in those times. We know how that may bring the noisy ones. So we wait. We appear when most are not ready. Then they do not expect. We appear to many who do not realize they are ready. We see many walking with a big gun, big rifle, hunters. We watch. They do not know that we watch. Many hunt, take their food, and leave behind for my family. We are grateful. Some take too many and leave most of prey, but take what is the word? Souvenir. They are wasteful hunters. We do not let that waste. We then take and feed family. But we watch. We watch. And one day we will all appear before you. Be ready. Be ready. We have fear. You have fear. That will be fun.
How many humans do you trust? I guess only those with an open heart and who can. Well, that's one way I would say it. So people with an open heart and who do you trust, basically, for humans?
We trust those who are family, who do not want to have proof. We work with them. They work with us. Only friendship is important. We have worked with many, and we have worked with few. We are starting to see more who are friends, and we work together. They do not wish to share with others of our special connection. they become family. I have many for those who no longer live here. I miss them. I want one day for all to be one big family. You help teach good manners. Good manners, then we work with them. That is the answer, dear one. Good manners.
Are we, what about life after death? And we continue on. There is no such thing as death. Is that your understanding?
There is death of physical body, but soul always moves on. We are sad when soul leave physical body, but we know they will be different. Connect at different time in the future, different place.
Mhm.
You human, life too short. We want to help you enjoy your time here. Enjoy each other. No fighting. We are not perfect. We have fighting too. Some of my people, no manners.
How are you connected to Gayle? And what made you wish to come and talk to us today?
This one opened the door. She does not know me, but she will. She is what is word she use in re re reluctant reluctant
Reluctant.
reluctant to allow all of us to speak through her. She thinks she is not worthy enough. Teach her, please. She is a voice for us, our people, our ways. Teach her no fear of what is word? Judgment. No fear of judgment. That is why she's not here with us now.
Judgment and fear are two of your biggest lessons that I've learned. I learned that from Clan of RE, so that really rings true to me.
We
So-
are all same. No one better than other.
No. Do you have a message for me or for Mr. Beans? Would you like to tell us something specific?
Continue to teach manners and always have laughter and love. You teach many humans who have connected with one of us. They look for you and listen so they may feel that they know the truth. Continue to speak truth. That is my.
Thank you. That's very honored to hear that. We are honored to hear that.
It is time for me to step back, but you can reach out to me any time, any place.
Do you have a name that we can so that I can connect you with so I can
I
there's a
am
connection between the
one.
name?
I am one with many names. You can call me Mariah. I like that name.
Mariah.
Yes.
I'm going to write that down, my friend.
I like talking, speaking, being in your presence. You both are special. Special laughter is much needed.
What do you call me? What do you call Mr. Beans? Do you have a name for us?
You are children in my eyes, for you are still young and learning, but you are not young one in mind. You are elder elder sight. Do not stop reaching to connect. We wish to connect. One day we will sit the same fire circle.
Mm.
Union family.
That will be a wonderful day.
It will be soon. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. And you're welcome to come back anytime. You can find an open door.
I like open doors. Goodbye, dear ones. Ooh, boy, whoever that was so much love. It's the same as a female that I saw. And then I don't know where I was.
Yeah, I know what you're saying with the love. Absolutely. Is that the only one that wants to come in, or are there any others, or do you, or
Her name was Mariah, and she said she came to see you just because your door was open. You opened the door for her, and that
Yeah.
she doesn't know you don't know her yet, but you will know her.
Mariah. That's a
Yeah.
cool name.
Well, it sounded like I was going to know her too. Sounded like she was going to be sitting around the fire with me.
Oh, did
That
she
would be
talk about
that would be
that?
cool.
I have seen several years, like a medicine, I think it's a male. He's got like a medicine bag and he's got like a loincloth. It's only because I know, because otherwise I'd be very uncomfortable. And he's sitting across the fire, and there's three of us on the other side um, learning. So maybe that's what they're showing. I wonder if they're from the
Yeah,
same place. Did she say where she was from? Is she
she
from
said she was somewhere
Colorado?
close up by me.
Oh, it's interesting.
Somewhere in Canada was what she was implying. Close to me.
Wow.
Although she did say, which we all know, that they don't have borders, but have to communicate in a way that we can understand. So somewhere in my territory or Canada here, so
She could have been east. I mean, the east is a huge bunch of east next to you, right?
Well, I know she started talking to me, and then I don't know what happened.
it was very it was amazing. It was amazing, and it all resonated with love and with truth with me, and I'm sure Mr. Beans. It was
She said
amazing.
she had 21 people in her family, in her clan, I guess. She had 21 or 28. Do you remember, Brian?
I thought it was 21, but
That's a
Yeah,
big family.
that's what I was thinking. And then she asked if the Irie's family had 17. So I guess there's bigger family groups out there than we imagine in our mind. I always think of 5 or 4 or 7, but to be 15 and 21, that'd take up a pretty good sized mountain.
Yeah, that makes me curious too, because how can they be together with nobody seeing them? They're so big. But I've
well,
seen some that are, you don't really see them. It's like the people call it cloaking, but I don't think it's that. It's like they're like in a different realm almost. It's the same place, but they're in a different realm, so we can't really physically see them.
I've seen them in orb form. I've seen them as shadow people. I've seen them as like predator. Uh,
Yeah.
so and I've seen them completely invisible appear out of thin air. So they have many different forms they can take. So that would explain why we don't, why people say, well, we don't, how could they be out there and we don't see them? Well,
Well, I
because
know
we see them.
thing about shape shifting. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know if that's just the medicine people of their, I call them clans. Um, but I know that we've seen sometimes we're like, that is not a regular, a raven or whatever we saw. It's like,
Oh
that does
yeah.
not feel right. We just know it, just coincidentally, all of a sudden they're like there. Like, okay, well,
Yeah. No, yeah, Gail, there's no question about that. I've had many experiences where I've seen animals and even people that I knew were Sasquatch just from the way they were acting, the circumstances, and just doing things that are not possible otherwise. But and you probably experienced this too. Like I'll be asking a question and wondering, did you do that or something? And then a raven will fly right overhead just at that split second and
yeah,
call, and just
right.
one call, like just as the thought is formed. So yeah, we know they do that for sure. Um,
I wonder if
uh,
they shape shift into the human form to be, among us. I mean, it's just, if you can shape shift into animals, why can't you shape shift into a human?
Well, I know they can. I've had our friend, we call him Beef Wellington. We have little nicknames on the show. We'll have to come up with one for you, maybe Little Flower or something. Comes to mind. But you know, he had some experiences where it was just undeniable. And I had an experience with a friend where this person was doing things that were not humanly possible. And the energy and the behavior and everything was just I knew it was a Sasquatch. It was just it you know, like these knowings are more concrete than some of the things we think of as concrete that are right before our eyes. Well, you know how that goes. So yeah.
You asked if there are others who wish to speak. So what I'm seeing is like they had, what was, Mariah be like the spokesperson on behalf of, like, it feels like they're a council. And I feel like they're from different locations, and some of them are different colored. They're not the normal, I'm sorry, that was rude. They're not like the natural colors that we are aware of. So I think they could be, as people call them, they're the galactic ones. All I know is I can see different colors. But the presence of wanting to work with us, I don't know if it's they want to save us or they want to just teach us things that we as, I guess, society have lost.
Yeah, definitely
So
that.
I just feel that they're teachers.
Well,
And
there's actively teaching selected people how to go invisible, and there's at least two different Sasquatch that I know are teaching that. And then you have over there the Ptah people of the Star people from Sue Walker. They're teaching people how to mind speak. So I think to be coached, to be taught how to do these seemingly impossible things, which when the Sasquatch teach about it, it's not so impossible as they do it all the time. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to learn more mind speak and more abilities, more healing abilities. Brian has been given healing abilities or coached or I don't know what you call it. Gifted coach? How would you call it?
Well, I think I had those abilities from past lives, but they reminded me of it. And also, and yeah, and all, and well, yeah, coached, I guess, or taught, but also we have those abilities inherently anyway. So they just kind of remind us of who we are and whatever. And I think a lot of it has to do with that. I was interested though, Gayle, if you could maybe, if you want to talk to one of them, Mariah asked what was it, what healings I was being taught or whatever, and I'm wondering what they meant by that. Are they talking about like abilities or what were they talking about?
so she's saying that they're going to teach us healings.
She was talking about me specifically in that instance about when I was talking about my clan. And she says, what are they teaching you, or what healings are they teaching you, or something? And that was kind of a broad term. I just wondered if there was more specifics as to what, and not just for me. I mean, it's for anybody, right? But
so what they're showing me, it kind of looks like you can see like the DNA, the strands. You can see within the body. It's like the only way I can describe it's like an X-ray, but you're seeing energy rather than like the bones and the skin and the flesh. There is I don't really know much about it, but something about quantum healing. I don't know what quantum healing is, but that popped in my head. So I take it as more working with the energy fields of individuals. But they're also teaching you tangible earth connections. We have to ground as we do our work. but you're going to have the ability to alter people's, I don't want to say DNA because it goes beyond that. You're going to be able to take out that which is not right for the body. Like say it was cancer, you could take out the cancer cells, but you'll be able to be able to see and understand what is wrong with what is not working for the person.
You talking about me specifically?
You specifically.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you know, with all due humility, I mean, I guess I'm doing some of that because and it's like when you learn, you know, you had people, I'm getting energy. You had people who were, who could confirm what you were doing because they had the experience or whatever. And it's nice to have confirmation, right? Well, like, because when I've done some healing on people, like they've told me like amazing things. If they didn't tell me that I had done something, it would be like, well, you know, am I making this up? Am I doing anything? But when you get confirmation from people,
Yes.
and people have had experience at similar stuff and whatever, and know what they're talking about, it really empowers you. So,
a friend of mine, her name is Granddaughter Crow, and she told me that all is expected of us is to remember what we forgot. So they're teaching us the ways. And my logical brain says, well, how can I remember it if I already forgot it? And so what happened after she talked to me about that, I have what I call the poking, where you kind of feel like you need to do something. The first thing was adding bear root or osha root into the fire, as in a fire cleansing ceremony. And, Garrett says, well, who told you to do that? I said, Grandfather Bear. I said, was I not supposed to do that? He goes, this is amazing. So I learned to just kind of step out of the way and let them, lead me. And some of those are the most beautiful experiences, but they also teach me so that I'll remember. And it's more that I feel it's more of their energies that I recognize who they are, because a lot of times they don't show me in their, something that in physical, tangible form.
Yeah.
So I'd say allow yourself to not be restricted by boundaries, not be restricted by what you think you can or cannot do. Just be open to it and let it flow.
And I apologize because I don't want the show to be about me.
But it's amazing.
But she was specific, but she did specifically say something about me. So then I just wanted to find out what she was talking about. And it does ring true, because the healing thing is going on, and it's amazing what they can open up, and people who are open to them. And when they want to teach you, it's incredible.
Who is the one who takes small groups out and kind of just hangs out, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 days, and just naturally, just whatever's going to happen happens, not so much looking for them, but letting them come to you?
Are they asking?
Yeah.
Well, that's I do that. I host a gathering, but it's usually 4, 5 to 7 days, and they let me know generally energetically. They give me like when I start talking to somebody that they will hit me up with energy, and I'll know that they want me to connect with them. So what I have been doing for the last few years, and I'd love you to come up and join us if you can.
I got to get my passport.
Yeah, but you don't need any, I don't know, and I don't want to judge or whatever, but you don't need that other stupid thing, unless you don't think it's stupid.
Oh.
but you don't need any, the border's open now. They don't have
the
what do you call it, the fax card or whatever and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, what if they're asking? Yeah, I guess this question is, it sounds like it's me. What I do is I facilitate gatherings, and I always say that they are the host, and I invite people, and I pay for the campground. It's a private campground, and we don't do any commercial stuff. We don't do anything. We just go there and we connect energetically, and we let them come in and teach. So it's there's no commercialism or anything there. And I have it every year, and going to have it this year, and you're more than you would love it.
When is it going to
Telling me that you would love it. When what?
Like, when do you think you'll have it? Like, in like what month or so?
We usually have it in September, one of the first 3 weeks of September, and I know that Kelly has hers around then too, doesn't she?
Yeah, I'm actually having a retreat on. I just told them, if you want me to do this, you got to put it in front of me. And so I found a place in Colorado. It's a hot spring place, but they have yurts, they have teepees. We can sit and connect. And I think that's what they want, is that let them come to us, not we keep looking for them. But the vision they're showing me is that you're creating the situation for them to be able to come and visit.
Well, they do. They come every time, and they reach out to everybody who comes. And for whatever they need, it seems like they just will give them whatever they need, whether they need, I mean, we've seen healings there right before our eyes and everything. And, and I'm very honored to be facilitating it. I give all the credit to them. I just go along with what they want. Right.
But the more you work with their energy, the more it opens up those gifts.
Yeah.
Just being related, connected to them is powerful. I mean, it's subtle. It's like your breath. If when you meditate, you connect to your breath, but it doesn't seem like anything's happening, but you're actually building up your spiritual power when you meditate. And also you're calming your mind so you're not so noisy. You're not a noisy human.
What is a noisy human?
That's what they were saying. They were noisy. They kept saying that we're really noisy and stuff.
People tend to think
about me being too loud.
No, people when they go in the woods or hunting or camping, they think really loud when they're walking, and they they're just loud in the mind.
Oh,
that's what I think. Yeah,
Michael, have you been getting knocks? It's something about there's knocking. I don't know where the knocking is, but there's knocking. They want me to tell you that. So I don't know if it's physically you're hearing knocking or that they're knocking. I just keep seeing knocking.
Well, that's a nice thing to say. I've had knocking in around 2014 or something. They would knock on my door. Yeah.
They're still there.
Well, that's good. That's a good confirmation. I have a kind of a unique relationship with my Sasquatch people. Is I don't really ever ask them for anything. I'm just open, and it's like just show, and I'm just lucky to be along for the ride. And because of that, I've given an incredible amount of gifts. I mean, if I just think in terms of animals. 3 turtles in different times, different kinds of turtles, a dead mole, a dead squirrel, a live squirrel fell out of a tree. You ever heard of a squirrel falling out of a tree? That was fun. That was hilarious. And then a live mouse just fell out of thin air, went from invisible to visible. So those are like gifts that have been given to me over the years, and so and I get gifts of stones and little plastic toys and little things like that. So I know they're around. Incredible visions. I mean, my God,
So they haven't left. They haven't left you. I just want to say.
I wanted to ask you something actually, and I guess maybe I should find it out for myself, but. I got to show you too if we ever meet again. I'm going to have to show you my 3 gift rocks. I got 3 special gift rocks that they gave me, one a year, and it was just amazing. There was mind speak involved. There was connection. There was synchronicity. All this kind of stuff. And I'm wondering, one of the rocks even turned from a river rock to a completely black rock the next day. It actually changed into a different rock. I'm just wondering if your people want to tell me what the purpose of those 3 rocks is. My name is actually written on the bottom of the 3rd one.
Wow.
Yeah, and it wasn't just scratched in the day I got it either. It looked like it was there for like thousands of years.
Brian the Rock.
Yeah.
Are
they giving any insight into that?
What I just heard is that you want proof? We give you the proof. And then you doubt that what we gave you is proof.
No, I don't. I never
You know,
doubt them. I never doubt
That's a
them.
joke. They're joking, Brian. Relax. They're joking.
there's many unusual, and I've had some myself, unusual things that happen. Sometimes it's out of gratitude that they leave stuff. This is what they're showing me. Sometimes it's a tool for you to use.
That's what I'm thinking.
So what okay. So what they're saying is it is for you to decide what you wish to do with these gifts. While I was talking to them, I'm like, don't give me any dead mouse and stuff because I don't want that. It'll freak me out.
I don't want that either. I don't want that. I get all upset when I see dead animals and stuff. I don't want them, and they don't give me that. Only once, and I got pretty upset and went and buried the little guy.
It also depends on their age. The younger ones are the ones that give you the weird stuff. The elders are showing that they provide the tools.
Yeah. So do you know what time or what are the dates for Kelly's gathering this year? Because if you're coming from Colorado, you could probably do both, like, do hers and then come to mine, or come to mine and do hers, because they're
I haven't been to Kelly's, not because I didn't want to, it's because I have that full-time job. I'm a contractor too, so I'd have to figure it out. But what I'm getting is that I need to travel and I need to go out and reconnect. So it's like, all right, then pay my bills for me. I'm all for it. But I know it's coming. It's coming because it's just got that. I think you talked to Garrett too once about coming out. I think it was before COVID. And
yeah, absolutely, I did.
So
he's welcome, obviously. Yeah.
Thank you. This I would love to, because I feel they are pointing me to places that I've never been. And I keep trying to go back to the beautiful places where I had these great experiences. And I keep hearing, we're not only there. Anywhere you go, we will be there.
Of course.
And so I have to get out of my, get my logical brain saying, okay, just stop thinking you got to keep going back to the exact same place.
Yeah. But, just for our human way of looking at things, I'd be honored to have you and bring Garrett too, and whatever. I'll get the dates organized once I can book the site and whatever. I'll let you know in plenty of time, but it's going to be September sometime.
So it's interesting you say September, because we were talking, like, we finally got together. We've all been busy and we finally got together, and Garrett was saying, we're supposed to be doing a gathering in September. And he was thinking we're going to be going to Ireland or Scotland too. I was like, oh boy, well, let me just say I'm not going to work for the next 3 months, and that'll be fine, because I know we're going to be taken care of. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
So I keep asking them, well, what do you want me to do for you? And then I don't get really an answer. I'm like, oh, I don't understand. And then it was like a little voice says, you already do it.
Yeah.
And in my mind going, well, what am I doing that I'm doing well? That what you want. So it's me. I know I have to keep,
Oh, it's the light. Definitely, it's the light. That the light of an open heart. That I heard somebody explain that about how just literally hundreds of people that you come in contact with, or people who even see you over the internet, they can feel that, and that lights their heart too. So we don't really have to do anything. So, and the Sasquatch don't really have to do anything.
I feel that they're going to be wherever, and I they're like, you don't really know this. We're in your office. I had a complete stranger who knew nothing about, Bigfoot at all. She called him Bigfoot afterwards, and she says she stopped by the entrance to my office, and I was like, "Why are you stopping?" Because we were going to go in. She goes, "There's this very big, hairy thing looking at me." And I stopped. I said, "Oh, that's just not Ayashan. It's okay. You can come in." She goes, "I don't know." And I kind of laughed, because I've never had anyone else say that they saw him, but she full on didn't even know what he was. I said, "You ever hear of Bigfoot, Sasquatch?" She goes, "Is that him?" I said, "I believe so." Because that's what I feel. And it was, so I got another validation that no, I'm not just crazy and I didn't make this up. He's there.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think we have to just get out of our own way, and then it'll be there.
And you know, I'm not being condescending, but I thought that was a silly thing when you said, what am I doing? I mean, what you're doing on this show, what we're all doing, we all know what we're doing. We're opening up people's minds and hearts. So with all due, and with deep friendship and with all due respect, you know what you're doing.
It's funny because it's like you want this proof and then you don't want the proof. And I'm like, well, it just is what it is, and it happens. And when I don't think about it, amazing things happen. If I think too much, then I can kind of get in my own way. So I've just learned over the last couple of years just to say, let go of it and let the beauty come through, because it's not for me, it's through me.
Yeah. One of the things that Mariah said that I really liked is she said, we want to connect, or we connect with those who don't want you. She said poof, but what she meant was proof. Those who just want to connect and have a relationship. They don't want to connect so much with the proof seekers and the ego people associated with proof and the finding Bigfoot kind of crowd or whatever. They want to connect through the heart, and they want to connect through teachings, and they want to open us up to who we are. So I really like that when she said that they seek people who don't want proof.
Well, that makes sense, because my first experience, I was not looking. I was actually looking for an old sweat lodge that Garrett's family had built. So I'm looking down from this logging road and I see something going. It looked like almost like it's not fur, it's black, beautiful, shiny, like well kept hair all through the body, all along down. So I'm seeing from the backside, and I'm not sure what I'm seeing. So I'm trying to contact Garrett's right behind me, and I'm trying to get his attention, because I am like, what is this? It wasn't the big dudes that you see on TV. It was more smaller, tall, but narrower, with this just beautiful, like jet black hair, but all the way down the body. Like that, not like long hair, but like layers, long layers of hair.
Yeah.
So when I finally got Garrett's attention, I looked back to him and I turned back and it was gone.
Yeah.
And they asked me, what, I said, what did you see? I said, I don't know what I saw. I have no idea what I saw. They're like, yes, you do. I says, no, I don't. My mind was like, the logical brain's trying to make sense of it. Well, maybe it was a person. There's nobody else here. Nobody would really look like that anyway. Then I said, a raven? I said, you know what you saw. So just, accept that. We're not questioning you, because, then I said, then why me? I wasn't looking. But maybe so then when you said that about what Mariah said, that kind of made me feel like, oh, maybe that was a message for me to understand that. They're just going to appear and don't question why. Just openly accept it. So I got to work on that.
I think that their messages are can be for everybody who hears them for their own individual reasons and stuff.
Yeah.
But it could definitely be that for you. And I think it's just a general way that they just like people who just don't want to go out there and look for them because they want to prove they exist. They wanted people who they could teach.
The lady said when you were channeling her, she said that that she felt that you were only open to talking to one Sasquatch at a time, and then she was saying, but you can handle talking to a whole tribe. And she said she said she wanted us to tell you that you can handle that. You can handle that and not to worry about being judged.
Okay.
And not be afraid of being judged. So I thought that's kind of interesting. So she was telling you to open up more. This handle a whole tribe.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Judgment is such a big thing with them.
Yep.
So many of the lessons are about judgment, us judging ourselves, judging
Yep.
each other. Judgment automatically, generally speaking, I think, which is kind of a contradiction, but I think it takes to a lower vibration, judgment,
And I think that's why I
just have
become
to
the
accept.
trance, because then the trance takes me out of all of that stuff that limits me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find it fascinating when people says, "Oh, we want you to like you say, oh, so you can channel for me." I'm going, hopefully you get what you were expecting, because I have no way to control what is being said. It
It was
just comes.
phenomenal. It was phenomenal what you said. It was
But
phenomenal.
I can tell when they leave. I feel, especially the family, the people of the forest, the tribe. It feels almost like you're left with sadness or loneliness. That's what it feels when they leave. But it feels like I had a big weight come off, and then I'm like, it feels sad, lonely, like not like depression, but more like missing something that was there.
Yeah. It sounded to me like when you were talking, I got the impression that you, or I don't know if you said it when you were in the channel or after, but you said you thought she was part of a council and that they weren't from here, I think. Does that
Oh
mean
yeah,
that
the council.
are they the, because there's some Sasquatch that live off planet and there's some that are terrestrial. Did you think that they're a council that are off planet that she's part of?
I think there's a mix, because I've actually experienced it myself. And I hate to use this word, but there are certain tribes, as I call them, they have de-evolved. So they're not, with this as strong with the star connection piece of it, and they just choose to be here and live here. So they have, I guess, for lack of a better word, they don't use the technology from where they originally came from. I felt that, I forget where it was. It was like this one particular tribe felt very primitive, almost like the Neanderthal type of situation.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I thought they were all star beings, star that came here. Some have come here a long time ago and they just chose to live here.
Now, when you
So
say the technology, does that mean that some of them don't shapeshift, some of them don't mind speak,
I
and
think
do the abilities that we see them doing or whatever, or are you talking about something else?
I'm thinking more like, okay, they're showing me like being able to use portals, and to go to a different planet, or like using technology if they came in ships, whatever it is. I'm seeing more if they come through portals. They don't come in through ships. At least that's what this one is showing me. So technology would be what their planet was like. The fact that they can travel here. And when they decide to live here, I think over generations, they lose some of that, like anything else. But the ability to use portals is something innate with them. This is what they're telling me. I'm not aware of that. But there's just the advancedness of how it's used, the location it goes to, some tools that they may use. Okay. Oh, I'm wrong then. So cloaking is not something that they need a tool for. It's not technology. They just have the natural ability to do so.
Right. But okay, but let me ask you this if they want to answer. So I've heard about the portal thing too, but I also believe, like Bean said, that they can just like, I want to be in Brian's house and they appear. So is that's not using a portal, is it? That's just putting their energy into a different
Yeah.
to a different place. So what is the purpose of a portal, and what is the difference, and what's the difference of travel?
Entrance to and exit from bilocation. I'm not sure what bilocation is, but they're showing me it's like if you were coming from a different planet and coming through a portal, that would be the only way that they could. And so that's where the ones who are teachers, scientists, explorers, that's what they use. So they still have technology on their side. But innately, there are those who've lived here for as long as man's lived here, before man lived here, that they have these unique, I call them gifts, to be able to do things like that. Like they
Just
don't
with
have to
energy.
physically put something down, they can send it and have it sit. So, I just
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
Do you
or
know?
have
Do you know? Do you know Barbara Lamb?
don't think
I think she was at one of the Chihuahua things.
probably met her because the name sounds very
Yeah,
familiar.
she's a UFO lady and a crop circle lady, and she's real sweet. She's got white hair. But anyway, she went down to South America and she was talking to the people, the experiencers down there, the people who experienced ETs and experienced being on craft.
Mhm.
And what she found out was down in South America that 50% of the people who get taken on a craft say it was a Sasquatch craft and a Sasquatch crew.
Wow.
And what that means, and this gets back to what we were talking about, is there are off-world Sasquatch that come and are doing the same kind of thing as the Greys and the Nordics and stuff are doing in the northern hemisphere. They're doing it in the southern hemisphere. That means that there are Sasquatch. You can't take 5 or 10 million people over a 20, 30 year span of time with just one craft. They have fleets of craft. Right, so that's just another twist to it. We think of them as, oh, there's these primitive people that are living in the woods. Well, that may be true for some of them, but that does not limit them. They're not limited to that.
Their
Yeah,
energy does feel different. So I agree with you. There's a different energy that I can sense from the different types. The ones that are closer to the star beings that I call, they have their presence is a little heavier, not as emotional, if that makes sense. And then the ones who have chosen to live here, not that I can tell, but it's just from the energies, like when we go to the res and they're there, we can feel the difference. When we went to Chihuahua, we can feel the difference. And apparently there were those from the stores and those that were local tribes, and they have different energies. So
yeah. The ones for the star Sasquatch, they're not as invested with humanity. They're doing a job, they're doing a service, they're doing something to bring up to the whole Mother Earth thing. They're helping. They're part of a big collective, so it's more. They're not so invested, so you don't have that, brother and sister connection that we have with our Sasquatch.
yeah,
They're our elder brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's phenomenal that they're doing that at all.
yeah. I just feel, I mean, they keep sending me the image of being teachers, but they do
Oh, yeah.
learn from us as well. So it's not like it's a one-sided thing. And
They're
so,
definitely, well, that's how I've always thought of my clan. I've always, right from day one, thought of it as a teacher-student relationship.
yep. But
And
sometimes you are the
like you
teacher.
said, it could be both ways.
Yep. Yep.
I think when we had Barbara Jean Lindsay channeling my clan, I remember the little guy, little Bud, the little juvenile. She was saying that I'm teaching him just as much as he's teaching me. It's a two-way street.
How can you call him little? That guy's 10 feet tall. How can you call him little? You
Because
said he's 10 foot
Because when
tall.
I first knew him, he was only a little guy, and I'm always going to call him Little Bud.
Was he,
He likes it.
there's something I'm seeing like a white little one, a white, not juvenile, younger than juvenile. I don't know. I'm just seeing a white one.
Is it from my area or just something somewhere else?
When you were talking, that kind of popped in my head. So I don't know if this is a memory or this is something that's present, but I'm seeing you may laugh because I'm seeing like a whitish color one, and the top of the hair is kind of like it kind of stood up like a not a mohawk, but almost like that, like it's a perpetual bedhead. It kind of stuck up. I keep seeing this little one with the thing, you know. And when you started talking, he kept showing up. So I can't tell if that's a young one now or that's a memory. I'm just sharing you with what popped in my head when you said that.
Well, I mean, the female who is the brother of little Bud, Raja Say, she's got twins. And boy, did they ever leave? Did they ever have a celebration when they were born? There were clips everywhere talking about it, and just the energy and everything. And then she's got a new little baby too. I think the twins are about maybe 6 years old or something, and then she got one maybe about a year old. So maybe it was one of those.
It could be, because I just kept saying this, you know, it's this, the hair is going to be something that you'll say, that's you, because it's one of those that you can't, because of where the cowlick is, I think makes the hair stand up. I'm like, why do you show me such odd, you know, little things? But they said, this is what you need to show. It's like, okay. So when you see that one with the hair kind of standing up all the time, you'll know that's the one that came through. You know, I can't control what they show me. Sometimes I'm like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, Brian, if you actually know the actual number of the how big the family is, the clan of Irie. It could be much bigger, and they just don't want to come forward or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. I know them energetically, and I've seen them. Some of them.
I think there's 17. Something about something.
So there's the grandmother one, but there's Ari. There's Rajasay and Bud. That's 4. There's Forshna, who's Rajasay's mate. 5, and then there's the 3 little ones. That'd be 8. There's 8 that I know of anyway, but you know, I don't know them all.
There's a brother of the one you connect with. I'm showing brother, and he has a mate, and they have 2 or 3 that are younger, and then they've got older ones too.
Yeah, well, I think
they're not always together, they're saying, but they come back. They come back.
That's what I think. They could live on the same mountain, one on one side of the mountain, one on the other side of the mountain, and they would still be the same family, but not living in day-to-day contact.
Well, I look at it like the same clan, but maybe 3 different families in the clan, but they may be related, like brothers and cousins and stuff.
Feels more like the male side of that is that's where the family members are. The females were brought into their clan. So in other words, I'm not saying sisters. There's brothers, and brothers have families, and so it keeps building.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know, they're just showing me that. But that's the thing, you know, it's like you can ask me questions and I can answer them based on what they're showing me, or I may just, you know, go into a trance.
I've always felt like there's a lot more Sasquatch than what people see or people think, because some people make these estimates. Oh, there's 3,000 Sasquatch in the United States, and I'm thinking that's crazy. And then because that just seems like there's
too little. I mean,
that's too little, and is there, you know, there could be 3,000 in North Texas for all we know, or in Georgia.
These guys who are saying there's 3,000 or whatever number, these are the guys that are trying to figure them out scientifically. Can't figure them out scientifically. They're just going by using science and you know, and the population would have to have so much food to survive and all this crap that doesn't relate to them. So there's way more than that. I don't take those numbers seriously.
It's like, do they go out and do a census? Okay, how many people do you have in your family? It's like, that's a human thing, what we want to do.
Yeah, they're looking at it from our human perspective.
Anyway, I think there's a lot more, you know, goodness to go around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Every time I've had the connections with them, I always feel unconditional love, and feeling like the gratitude that we can connect. And so I think that's what I want. I want to go back and experience that again. So I think, we're lucky that we have something like that to be able to experience, and we don't have to prove it. When I came back from Chihuahua, I told my husband and my boys, they didn't doubt me because they knew I wouldn't lie, but they're like, okay, Mom. And when I started explaining to them, they're going, okay, that's a little bit too much for me to process. It's like, it's okay, because it's a lot for me too. It's not like I just accept like, oh, everything's fine. I'm just like, wow. So I think if we just kind of get out of our own way, or, not have a closed door, they may come in. And when we're doing what we would normally do, that's when they just will show up. I find that with the animal spirits. I find that with even souls who are lost. If they feel the presence of a person, a being of light, they go to them. And sometimes like, oh no, not me. When they say the light, we go to the light, it's not go to me. You gotta go over there. But then those who have that gift, if they choose to, they can help those cross. So I think there's something connecting, because I keep seeing them. It's even like the ones they say, what's that word where you kind of see the shape of you're looking at a tree and all of a sudden you can see a face, right? So I've heard that theory, but when we were in New Mexico and we were doing ceremony, and I looked up and I was like, that's a face. That is not, it's not fake. It's real. I can feel them because I can feel their presence. And I kept pointing and nobody could see it. I'm like, it's right there, you guys. Why can't you see it? And it was tall too. But I felt more like, and it looked more like, it would look like the green color, and I know that wasn't their natural color, but that's the way they were showing themselves so I could see them.
Yeah.
So it's just like, thank you. And don't know how it happens, but it does.
I was shown a couple of months back. A couple of months back, I got this just vision, this glimpse that every single person who watches a Sasquatch video, they're engaged in the Sasquatch, they want to watch videos on YouTube and stuff, that almost every single one of them has a Sasquatch, a living Sasquatch looking through their eyes and checking their reaction. And the ratio was, it was around 2,000 Sasquatch were assigned to around 4 million people.
Wow.
So I thought that was just incredibly encouraging, because maybe they're not in contact or friends with those people yet, but they're monitoring and waiting for them to get to the right time or whatever.
Well, I think we limit without, we set those limitations, so things can continue to happen. And maybe we're not even aware of it, but it's there. And then one day we're like, oh, what's that? I mean, we have amazing things happen. Even, we say it couldn't happen at the church, but it does. I think because we're there. I learned how to open portals and close portals with these words that I don't even know what they mean. But then I was told what it was to do. I said, well, what if I open it up? Can I close it? I don't know how to close it. And then I got the next word to close. I said, oh, okay. So we tried it. And that's when we learned about the Dooliga. And then the Dooliga from Australia, we felt their presence big time. I was like, okay, so we just created a portal here for them to come in and out. And then, so it's like they're there when we're there. They don't have to be physically there, but we're in a class or something and you have somebody tap on the window. We're like, okay. And when people are like, what was that? Just, don't worry about it. It's all good. But we know who it is. Well, thank you so much for having me. I actually have to run to because I've got a client that I'm supposed to be meeting.
Oh, well, you know what? That makes me feel very good, because I dropped my wife off for shopping and she knows that my show goes on for 3 or 4 hours, and she's already messaging me wanting me to pick her up. So I'm glad that in a way, but at the same time, can we have you back on?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm pretty much open as long as you give me advance notice, I'll make sure I don't schedule clients and we can do this. But I'd love
Well,
to come out and meet in person again too. And Michael, I'd love to meet you in person as well. It's just, to me, it's fascinating. I refer to and this is my closing statement, I refer to the Sasquatch, the big one, the dooley gods, the hairy ones, whatever you want to call them, as elementals. And I think these are the earth ones, because that's the ones I can feel them. So I just refer them as elementals. Yeah. And they work with me in my healings, which I'm always so amazed.
They're the largest of the Fae.
Yeah.
Love that.
You know what? I've got somebody lined up for next week, and then I got another person who wants to come on soon. But how about we get you on in a few weeks or something? We'll do a part 2 because we didn't really get to talk to you about some of your personal experiences, and also maybe some more channels because that was phenomenal.
They're going to be channeling. They're already telling me.
I got a feeling that they want this to happen because it was such a thrill and such a. We've been doing this show for 3 years now. Yeah. And we've just been telling stories, but now to have the Sasquatch actually speak through the internet by channeling, that's kind of a next step, it's the next level. So
it's like, if I had the technology to be able to plug in a monitor to what I see, it would make it so much easier. And then I'm thinking, well, now what would happen when I trans channel? What would you see then?
Well, maybe you can trans channel next show.
Yeah. But so they're closing. This is the council that's speaking. They want you to continue what you're doing because you're reaching people who are still in the phase of, I couldn't have seen that. Or they're like, people are telling them, no, you didn't see that. You're just making it up. You're allowing people to come and feel like, I'm not alone.
Absolutely. We've always said
that's very important these days because, as you know, there's more people are having experiences and they don't talk about it.
That's not blowing our own horn, but that's the beauty of this show is that we validate other people's experiences that are just as crazy and wonderful and wild and magical as ours. And it's a really good forum, this show, for people to speak out. And we have
and it's fun. We like to have fun.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So everybody who's listening, I'm going to reschedule Gayle again in a few weeks. Would you come on maybe 2 weeks?
Isn't that around Christmas? You want to go?
Well, maybe like the first, in first week or so of January or something.
I will be back actually from Hawaii. I'll be available on the 10th. So anytime after that.
Okay.
Because otherwise, the timeline's going to be, well, we may be able to do it. Who knows? Let me know and I'll check.
Yeah, and we'll do some more of this wonderful stuff. And thank you once again so much. It's just been wonderful. And
I look forward to being able to hear them.
And thank you, Mariah, for letting us know that we know we're doing good work here on this show.
We got an actual brand new Sasquatch friend that we'd never ever heard of. Thanks to you. I think she's a really great lady. That's Mariah lady, and she just was willing to introduce her whole clan. That's kind of wonderful. Out of the blue.
I'm getting chills, so that means that you're going to be having more experiences with her. I feel like she's very inquisitive too. She wants to know.
Well, then we'll continue next time. So on behalf of Port Cunningham and the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Beans, this has been the Pork and Bean Show. And thank you, Gayle. Thank you, Mariah. And we will have you on again soon, and we'll delve deeper into this, and we'll have another wonderful experience. And thank you so much for coming. And I hope you can come up and visit me and get that gathering going in September.
Yep, I can feel it coming. So
and great. Take away those chitlins, take away those greens, cause mama's little baby loves pork and beans.
Okay, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.
Some trails are happy ones.
Others are blue.
Big sky, look down on all the people looking up at the big sky. Everybody's pushing one another around. Big sky feels sad when you see the children scream and cry. But the big sky too big to let it get him down. Big sky too big to cry. Big sky too high to see. People like you and me. One day we'll be free. We won't care, just you see. Till that day can be. Don't let it get you down. When I feel that the world's too much for me, I think of the big sky, and nothing matters much to me. Big sky look down on all the people who think they got problems. They get depressed and they hold their heads in their hands and they cry. People lift up their hands and they look up to the big sky. But the big sky is too big to sympathize. Big sky's too occupied.